And it's the news angle, bitch. It's your boy D.
It's your girl CJ.
It's the queen of mean, Brandine.
Oh,
What is up?
that was terrible.
That was my southern name. Hey, Brandine.
Oh,
Brandine.
oh, that's that would. You know what? That might be actually a pretty good name. I don't think
It's
I've ever
actually
heard.
ugly as fuck. Like, let's not even entertain
Let's
it.
not pretend like that's the thing.
No, Brandine.
Brandine sounds like she gives blowjobs for Chinese chicken.
I'm offended.
Chinese chicken. Remember that shit?
That chicken in China, the Chinese chicken. You have a drumstick and your brain stops sticking.
I'm
Watch the
dead.
X-Files when the lights on, with Donald Faison on.
Oh my god.
Leave it alone. I shouldn't have said anything. Sorry about that, guys. Got a little carried away.
So for those of you who watch just the NewsAngl and don't know the other one, we did get some microphones, so D will sound better starting next week.
No, he won't.
Yeah, he will. I'm gonna help him set it up.
People.
I'm gonna help him set it. Are you crafting?
I am.
I'm sorry,
Light as a feather, stiff as the board. The craft.
What?
I have to do this. Okay, so I've been talking about this on my personal pages for you thirsty niggas that follow me, and for you girls that do too. And anyway, I have to hurry up because next weekend is WizardCon. Yes. I have 2 of our listeners that are going to be joining me, so I'm very excited. But I got stuff to do. So those who are listening and don't see me on YouTube, I am finishing up a Playboy Bunny idea or version of Poison Ivy. So hopefully it turns out cute. Shit. At the end of the day, I'm gonna look cute, so it don't matter. So that's my news.
Hot glue gunning right now?
What'd you say?
Is that what you're in the process of hot glue gunning right now?
Yeah, I have to do the leaves here, and I was going to sew it on, but honestly, it's just not worth it on something that's small to me even take the time.
Yeah.
But on the bodice that I have, like this bad boy, which is actually velvet, so it's going to feel so good on my skin.
Oh my god.
I mean, look at that. How
that
cute,
is going
right?
to be awesome.
And the back's the corset back. Baby! I'm going to get all these tips in.
Oh my
bitch is going to be hosting bingo in this shit because it's going to be green. So St. Patrick's Day, whatever. I'm going to take all the money.
Man, so there's that. And if you feel so inclined and upon your heart and God has told you to, we do have a subscription that you can get into on anchor.com.
Yes, because people are actually giving us funds. We appreciate it.
Let me pull this up while you guys are talking, because I would like to give a shout out on this episode and the next one.
Can we do this from now on for those that like to give us that bread, that guap, that cheddar cheese?
You guys are helping us become better podcasters and such, and we really, really appreciate it.
I promise you we won't forget you when we make it to the tippy top. I mean, I already feel like we made it. Us being us, we made it.
I mean, the way I feel. She said the way I feel.
That's me. Me being me is a win.
All right. Shout out to, I think we already did this one because she was our first one. Very first one was Dorinda.
Yay!
Yes, thank you. I don't want to give out full names because, that might be weird later. Also, shout out to Leslie, last letter A, and Rachel, last name letter G. Thank you guys so much. Yes.
She knows what that means.
I'm sure she will know. I'm sure she does, but that's pretty dope, you guys. We really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much for your support. If anybody else would like to, we'll always give you guys a shout out. Once we start getting merch, I'm thinking about doing stickers first for people who are subscribing, so we can send it out to them and shit like that.
I want t-shirts.
I know we want t-shirts. We'll do t-shirts on our e-commerce sites certainly coming up soon here.
Mom, I want them now.
Oh my god.
How? I want it now. I want it now.
Oh my god. Also, before we get into our first topic, just wanted to give out a shout out to Miss Leslie A for coming up with our followers / fans and listeners names. I think it was the Tribe.
The Tribe.
So cute. I'm gonna tag her in it later so she sees it, just in case she doesn't hear the podcast till later on. But yeah, so we're gonna keep calling you guys the Tribe. So welcome, Tribe.
And I might just say Tribe just because
that's
I like
cool.
to annoy
the Tribe. Yeah, she's so rude. I can't stand it. And
giving her a taste
T-Poo.
of what Heather's gonna be.
Oh my good. Anyway, first topic of the day. Let's get into this. The lady with the rental property and the Rolex dude. Can you give us a rundown, because I didn't get to watch the video.
What was going
What'd you
on?
say?
Please explain. I didn't get much information on this.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Tell
boom.
me the details.
Okay, so apparently she was trying to surprise her boo for his birthday and got him a rental property. And I guess he had a very negative reaction to the fact that it was that and not a Rolex. So people were in the comments going back and forth. And some people felt like this is the problem with Black people in the first place, because you're not seeing that this is something that can create you more wealth. Yep. You can buy just as many Rolexes as you want. And then there were actually other people that were like, well, you missing the point. If I tell you what I want for my birthday, just get that. Not that what she did was a bad thing, but also when I told you what I wanted. So that was a different perspective, because I was one of those people like, you ungrateful as fuck. And then when I thought about it, I was like, I also am a person that's like, if I tell you what I want and you don't get it, I'm also like, why?
It's weird to me. So you agree? Well, what do you think, D? I have my opinion. I'm gonna go last. I want to know what D thinks.
Are they opinions?
You didn't have to get shit. So I mean, the fact that somebody thought of you, I think you should take that in consideration before you react negatively at what somebody gave you. I don't know. That's just me. Especially for something like a rental property. That's something that you can use that as an investment.
Right.
You can make money from it forever, as long as you own it. So.
I just like, I'm with D. Like, also, I've never actually really been the type to be like, I want this for my birthday, unless it's like maybe like going to see a band or something like in particular or something. But like,
but even something like that, I feel like you'd like get for yourself.
Well, I do. I kind of do, and I'll just ask my friends to come with me or whatever. But I don't know. It's weird to me to ask for something during a holiday, or like it was very odd for me, like for Christmas, like Rob's parents do like Christmas gift list, which I've never done, since I was like, 10, when I was 10 was probably the last time I've done it with my parents, because we circle the JCPenney catalogs in Okinawa that we used to get, because that's the only catalog, that and Sears is what we used to get.
God, good old
and my
Sears.
dad would like order shit and then have it, shipped. It took months, so we'd start early. Like, I feel like I'm really old when I say it like that. Like, it doesn't come in 2 days like Amazon.
You have to mail your order form in.
Yep. You gotta throw that bitch out. Can't fuck up the numbers either. You get a wrong item, it's on you. But like, it's just so weird to me to like ask for things that you want on a holiday. I don't know. And also, like, I'm with Brandy on the part where I feel like a lot of people in our society don't understand that like wealth is different from being rich. Because I feel like when he was like, I want this Rolex, he wanted to be rich and not wealthy. Like, that's two different things to me.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with like wanting what you want. I don't think I've ever been that particular on a birthday for a gift, unless it was food. Like, I remember a good friend of mine, she showed up and showed out, because she got me for my 30th birthday like superhero cupcakes, and I had a Wonder Woman cake. So I will get particular about that. So if I tell you Batman cupcakes and you come up here with the Flash, that's your ass. We have a problem now. You weren't listening.
See, and I don't consider that like a Rolex though. Like, it's not like,
no, it's not. But trying to break it down to the simplest level of, I asked for this and I didn't get that.
Okay.
That's probably where I can empathize a bit with somebody. Anytime you do ask for something and you get the total opposite, you do feel a little slighted, because it's like, but you asked me what I wanted, or I told you what I wanted. But I also feel where Dee's coming from. Nobody has to get anything, but most of the time, unless it's like pre-discussed in a relationship, it's kind of understood. You guys do birthdays, you do Christmas, or whatever, unless you guys have already said that ain't what y'all do.
Oh, here's a question I have. If you did ask for something and you didn't get what you asked for, do you tell that other person, especially if it's like your significant other,
that you didn't get what you wanted?
Yeah, just curious.
I wouldn't be upset if somebody told me, but I wouldn't. Me knowing myself, I wouldn't say anything. I was just like, oh, thanks. It kind of
your face is gonna say everything, D. Oh my god. Would you
He
tell?
said,
Would you tell yours, Brandy? Like if you.
You know, in my last relationship, I really didn't. Like he knew when I was upset that I was barely getting anything on birthdays, to be real, or my birthday was being forgotten. So I would feel slighted about that, but I didn't like press the issue. But that's because there was a whole bunch of other stuff going on.
Yeah, but that's significantly on the other spectrum, I guess. Like,
yeah, it is. But hindsight now, I feel like I should have said something because it is something important to me. It doesn't matter if it's like not super important to you. The point is, if you're with somebody and you're kind of agreeing, hey, even if I don't make a big deal about my birthday, it's a big deal to you, and I love or respect you enough to do a little something for you, not get you like a Rolex, but damn, here's a card and a cupcake.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, so like if yours was like completely on the other spectrum because he didn't even do anything. I'm saying like, I don't know, because I was asking that because I have a friend who like literally told her significant other person that, you know, this is not what I wanted. Why did you get me this? And
no, not with the follow-up of why.
or yeah, like, or like I didn't even ask for
why
this.
did you do this?
Yeah, basically. And like it's been over the years so much. Like if she's listening, she knows who I'm talking about.
Jade,
Yep.
I think
No names though, no names like for the audience. But like it's just interesting. That's why I was like wondering, because obviously there's people out here who do feel like it's okay to say, I want this, didn't get it. Like, why did you get something else? And then there's people who are like me who are like, well, you got me something, that means you thought of me, so I'm cool with it. You know
unless you really had your heart set on something, like unless you were really like, man, I really want these circus tickets, or I really wanted to go to Paris, or I really wanted this to go watch a game or a boxing match at Dave & Buster's at this time, or whatever. Some people get really particular, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But I'm also the type of person on the other end of a relationship. Oh, you tell me, you know, you grew up in this area and this place has your heart. I know what I'm getting you for your birthday. I'm sending you to that place. I go all out. And I don't expect that in return, but I do expect like something.
Right.
But to keep it to the topic of these people, I don't understand. I can, and then I can't understand why.
So did he tell her that he wanted a Rolex?
I don't know if he told her in that video, because the video is online, and I didn't finish watching it either. I was just reading comments because I was at work. So I don't know if he flat out told her. I could probably bring it up on my laptop while we're talking, but if he flat out told her this is not what I wanted, I wanted a Rolex.
Oh yeah, I think you sent me the link on the Instagram, right?
Girl, that would be devastating. And I think there were other people around, so that's even more kind of like, ooh, cringe. Like,
oh no,
I think there was a crowd.
Wait, say that again, D.
Who is this guy?
I don't know. I think it's just a random
people. I don't think these are like. This is gonna sound messed up. I don't think these are somebodies.
Oh, not somebody's. Okay. Oh, I got it. Here we go.
Okay, go ahead.
Let's see if I can. I hope you guys can hear it. So she's like pulling out like paperwork for property.
That's a real boss. How you fixing this shit up? That's a real boss. Okay. I like this. Dog, I want like a Rolex, a chain.
Well, so his boys are like, oh, that's a boss move though. Like,
I didn't know he said he wanted a Rolex or a chain.
Just add fuel to the fucking fire.
So that means that he.
What the fuck you want, Rolex or a chain? You got a whole rental property. Shut the fuck up. See, I'm gonna that motherfucker. Fuck you.
Oh my God, D.
No, but for real, like, so he said a Rolex or a chain. So that means he probably didn't tell her that he wanted either one. Like,
okay, so that's a different story. But still, if I didn't tell somebody what I wanted and they got me a goddamn house, do you know how happy I would be?
I wouldn't even know how to act. I would cry. I would be like, this is amazing.
What do you mean? Like a straight ugly cry. Like Halle Berry when she won that Oscar cry. I would be on one. What are you talking about?
That's a whole ass income that you can just sit on. It's passive income.
Man. Like, and they seemed like they were young too.
Yes, what? They were. Yes, they were. I mean, they couldn't have been more than in their 30s. Like, that's so crazy. 35. Yeah, not even over 35.
But this is why we talk to our kids about ownership, about saving, about investing, because it may not have been conversations we had a lot, and our parents' may not have had that conversation a lot, but it's time for that generational curse to stop. And I love that people are, you know, owning their own businesses and investing and paying attention to NASDAQ and just all this shit that seemed like foreign to us, when really it's like, this is stuff we should know. This is stuff you're entitled to know. The information is out there. And I feel like she did a good job. Real shit, you need a new nigga, boo. Time for a new one. If she's still with him, she's stupid.
Listen, I was reading something earlier today, and to what you were saying, like, we're one of the first generations since our parents' generation that are allowed to live in luxury, right? And I don't mean like finances only. I mean like we're in a place where we're able to break generational curses. Our parents had to live to survive, so we need to take that step. The freedom we have
compared to them is crazy, and the access that we have is crazy.
I mean, and then this girl is smart enough to buy you a rental property. Most people will be yelling to keep her, like.
And I don't even know if that was like a girlfriend or a wife or whatever, but if that was your girlfriend, whoever you are, sweetheart, you need somebody else.
I don't think that was his wife. I think that was his girlfriend.
You need somebody else, because you got it. That's somebody's wife, just not his. Come on, somebody.
I hope she put her name on that rental property too, so she can take it back.
I hope somebody's in her inbox like, girl, look, we can build together.
Anyway, next thing was Kobe and Gigi's memorial. Did you guys watch it? I did not.
I watched clips of it. Since I'm apparently the only one that keeps up with this type of stuff, I watched clips of it on IG because I was more interested to hear from Vanessa. And she said like a lot of stuff that people were confirming, that she felt like, you know, God took them both at the same time because they couldn't be on this earth without each other. She said stuff that any parent would be able to relate to, like she's not going to be able to hold Gigi's grandkids, or Kobe can't walk her down the aisle. Like all this stuff is not just taken away from her kid, but taken away from the girls that are left too, because their dad's gone. But everybody did show up and show out. What I was surprised at was the amount of like jokes that were told, because it seemed like this death hit everybody really, really hard. So I like that Shaq shared a very funny story about a time where Kobe basically he was told that there wasn't an I in team, but Kobe said there's an ME in that motherfucker, and proceeded to like basically be like, I'm not passing the ball. So Shaq said he had to tell because the teammates complained to Shaq.
Damn.
And then Shaq said he had to tell the teammates, hey, just catch the rebound because he's not passing. And you know, for years, if you follow Kobe's career, you've always heard things like, oh, he's a selfish player and he doesn't pass the ball and whatever. So I thought it was entertaining and funny that that's just confirmed by people who knew him best, and his brothers, his teammates, basically been like, yeah, he ain't passed. But I mean, when you're that good, do I have to pass? Like, just stand back. I don't have to. And then Michael Jordan gave a speech. I didn't realize they were as close as they were. But Michael Jordan gave a speech and he was really crying. And he said he was close and he felt like that was his little brother. And that he also didn't want to cry because he didn't want to see his face as a meme.
I saw that only because it was already a meme.
Girl,
I was like, too soon, guys. Too soon.
They don't care. Look, black people, we don't, and I say black people because I'm telling you, there's Black Twitter for a reason. It's us.
True.
We're the ones that don't have the chill. We joke about, I don't know if we do that to cope or what it is, but we joke and play all day. There is no chill.
Do you think it's a defense mechanism for us?
I think it's a coping thing. I really do. I think it's more cope than it is defense. I think a lot of us don't know how to deal with grief and emotions because we weren't allowed to deal with them properly given our background in slavery and everything else. Not that we came from slaves, because I know that, y'all, but there was a shift energetically and spiritually. So I'm talking about for those of us that are here in America. I don't think a lot of us know how to deal with that shit. So you laugh, you joke, your way through it.
Say what now, D?
So you make light out of darkness.
You do. This is
Always
true.
does.
And there's nothing wrong making the jokes. I mean, I joke around about a lot of shit, but I still deal with my shit. So I'm hoping people are starting to deal with the stuff too, rather than kind of joke and sweep it under the rug. But it was a nice memorial. Beyonce shut it down per usual. The way someone made a really awful joke saying that y'all would love Kobe the way y'all say y'all do if y'all let Alicia Keys sing at his memorial.
Oh no! Somebody said Alicia Keys wasn't there.
No. Oh my God.
Also, they do love him. Okay.
That mess was funny.
Fucking
I was
terrible.
Again, we don't have chill, but Beyonce did a really good job. But I didn't expect anything less. Nobody else is gonna outsing that girl live. So that's
you can't. Say what?
She sang Halo.
She did sing Halo, and she sang EXO because I guess that was one of Kobe's favorite songs. It was just heartbreaking seeing Vanessa just keep it together like that. I'm like, fuck, girl.
I don't know. I heard part of her speech on the radio or something yesterday or today or something, and I was just like, man, I don't know how she's staying that way, because I did not hear a single quiver in her voice when she was talking about Gigi and stuff. I only listened to it for like a minute.
Yeah, she did more like, you'd have to see it because she did more pausing, and she was crying, but it clearly wasn't the boo cry where it affects your voice.
Well,
it's
yeah.
You know, the tears run down, but I'm like, I almost think, I'm like, is this like the spirit of your husband? Is this conversations that you just had with him, or how you're with somebody so long, some of them rubs off on you? Because even players being like, well, we're not going to stop playing because Kobe wouldn't want us to cancel a game.
Right.
And so you clearly had that type of husband that was like, the show goes on, let's get it. So that I'm kind of thinking that's maybe where some of her strength is coming from. Like,
I hope so. I really do.
That's rough. That had to be on suicide watch, baby. Woo!
Well, and the other part of that is she is. I did read the news part. I never do the entertainment part. I did read that she's going to be suing the company, the helicopter company.
Yep.
Because she was saying that I guess the environment and the atmosphere that day was really bad, and nobody else was flying, but that fucking company let them fly that day.
And I heard a lot of that was because somebody else that either worked for the company or works for a company like it gave like some anonymous interview. And they were basically saying it's toxicity in the culture of not wanting to tell these bigger clients no. So Kobe Bryant's like, hey, I need to get here and it's only a 25-minute trip or whatever. The flight is in a helicopter, because typically people take helicopters when they're shorter.
Right.
Flight. So I think he said he thinks this was a case of nobody just wanting to say no. And it's Kobe, and he's flown in this helicopter plenty of times. Like, what would make this any different? You know what I mean? It's just that, it's that false sense of security. Like, it's going to be all good every time we get on a plane or a helicopter, even a car. But one thing about Kobe's death, whether people believe it was Illuminati plan or whether people think it was just God's plan, whatever was going on, I think there was a shift energetically with a lot of people that really felt like, damn, tomorrow really ain't promise for real. And I know people feel like that when there's like those mass shootings that happen, but I feel like we get so desensitized to those. It's just kind of like, oh, another school shooting. But this rocked people. This like stopped the earth, as
I mean, it was somebody like, you know, it's everybody who was on that helicopter, but like Kobe being, you know, the mainstream person, it was somebody that everybody could watch on a game night and knew that he was going places. I mean, he was, you know, running hard, going places, going up, and all of a sudden it just stopped. You know what I'm saying? So that's the part that got everybody.
I think that's got everybody really, hopefully, cherishing each day, treating yourself more kindly, treating those around you more kindly. You can only hope for something like that, because we don't know.
Right.
The thing that rocked me the most is his daughter, though. That's
I know.
Money.
She was so young. You know what I mean? You're not. Of course, you hear about celebrities and things happen to celebrities all the time, but when it's their kid, somebody so young, any kid, that just hits you in an awkward place in your heart.
To me, it made everything worse. It was already bad enough that Kobe, and I considered that young. He was what, 40, 41?
41.
Young.
So I'm like, you're starting a new chapter in your life. You were still very young. And it just made it worse hearing that it was Gigi too, because again, whether you have a kid or not, just think about the fact that you made it to your prom, or you made it to a driver's license, or all the stuff we just kind of take for granted. We don't think twice about. We're just kind of like already planning the next go ahead.
Did you see her ball though? She could ball.
Oh yeah. She's definitely her daddy's kid.
Her career too, growing up. So You know,
He was basically
um,
prepping her to take over.
Yep. Well, I heard that he was like going to more WNBA games too, that he was interested in, so that he could get his daughter towards that direction, like,
Which is
and
great
all of
because
that.
people don't even take that seriously enough. So to
I
have
know,
somebody
right?
like Kobe, that would have been there
Hmm.
and to help with the viewership, to help with people taking women's sports in general more seriously, that would have been dope. And then everybody would have been watching that girl play. Are you kidding me?
Oh my
That
God.
would have been as big as watching LeBron James kid play. Like that would have been huge.
It was
So
the Lisa
condolences to
it,
everybody involved.
it was
Also,
Lisa Leslie saying that. That's what it was. Because she was saying that she saw him at the games more often than he was at the NBA games after a while. That's crazy. Anyway, we're gonna take a quick break, and then we're gonna come back for the last bit of the show. We'll be right back.
we're back.
And we're back. D switched from his computer to his phone so we can hear him better. Yay.
Yay.
his lighting's
Yay.
different too. Like
Yeah,
that
the
skin
lighting's
is
different on
skin is
that.
looking good, honey.
It's
Nice and
looking
butter, right?
oh my God. So we're coming in. Well, we already agreed. So we want to talk about the coronavirus. Oh my God. These niggas is dancing. For the last bit of,
Jangling, jangling.
oh my God, I can't
Y'all
stand
can
y'all.
hear me now. Shit. Turn up to this motherfucking shit.
You gonna be looking like that drunk dude meme where he's like, I can't.
He cannot take anything seriously.
I can't. I'm over here talking about the coronavirus. These niggas over here dancing and shit. I can't.
Hey, because you got to, man. You never know.
I mean, the way things is
Damn,
going.
girl.
I don't know if you guys saw the post I made on our Instagram today about how we talked about like real truths are coming last week, which means we posted it on Monday of this week, which was
Oh,
the
is that the one you
24th.
dated? That said, oh, by the way, I saw it.
So the 17th is when we recorded it. And today is actually the 25th. And we posted that video yesterday. But anyway, the CDC came out and said there's a possibility that some locations eventually may have to shut down businesses or school depending on how mild or serious this coronavirus
They're
outbreak
literally telling
is.
people to prepare for it. Basically, not be surprised.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel weird about it because I'm a conspiracy theorist by, definition, what people say. And like, I've been talking about this shit forever. I don't know if you guys are preparing at all. Are you guys doing anything to prepare?
I just got a whole shitload of hand sanitizer and Lysol, bleach,
Yeah.
shit like that.
You got any masks? Masks?
I don't have any masks. Honestly, I think I already contracted the coronavirus or beat it. Listen, let me tell you what happened to me. I got so fucking sick last week, right?
You did tell me.
And it was like, the onset was quick as fuck. I was like, whoa, this shit knocked me on my ass. I had to I couldn't even make it to the bed. I just laid down on the floor and just in a fetal position.
I know you out there in Vegas.
Yeah.
And I work in a hotel, so it's the very transient. I get people from all around the world coming in, handling currency and credit cards and shit, shaking hands, kissing babies and shit.
I knew he was gonna say kissing babies, fucking dumbass.
You know what I mean?
So,
the onset was crazy quick. I got a fever that was so damn high. I almost went to the emergency room, but I fell asleep. So I remember it was I was freezing fucking cold, shivering. I put on a hoodie. I had on a blanket. I had on an electric blanket and another blanket on top of that. And I was still shivering, like convulsing down there. I was so cold, but my body was hot. I took some ibuprofen. I drank a gallon of water, a whole gallon. Probably not the smartest thing to drink that much water that quick.
No, because you can swell your brain, dude.
I know, but I was desperate. And I took some ibuprofen. And I took a probiotic. And I went to sleep. And I woke up and my fever was gone. I was hot as hell because I could actually feel my own body. Yeah, I could feel now. So I was like, damn, I got this electric blanket on and all these blankets and a hoodie. So I took all that stuff off. I went to the shower. The body aches were gone. I was still congested. All of that stuff was there, but the fever and the body aches were gone. And it took me about a week to recover. My energy level went from, say, 95% down to like a 20. for the rest of the week. So I had no energy, but I felt better. And as the days went on, I got better. I'm thinking that's some corona type shit. I ain't never been that sick in a long ass
here's
time.
the deal. There's
Let
a
Dr.
report.
CJ tell us, because
Look at Brandy's face. Brandy like, there's a possibility, D, that you actually contracted it and broke it because you're younger. You probably have a pretty good immune system too. You know what I mean? Also, there is a report out that says that there's a possibility that all these people who were or are being diagnosed as the influenza or the flu is actually the coronavirus or has been the coronavirus, and they just fought it off here. Because it started in December and nobody's been tracking it until end of January is when we started tracking it. So there was a whole month and a half-ish in between where nobody was tracking anybody with the coronavirus, which is why it like exploded everywhere because people travel now. It's not like in the olden days where you have to get on a ship for 42 months to get to another continent, right? It's like 42 hours, like literally across the globe. So all these people who have like Italy. Have you guys heard the news about Italy? So there's 10 cities that last time I checked, 10 cities they shut down because they had so many people just exploding with the coronavirus.
And I thought that because of that in one other city is why the CDC said something.
So there's something called a cluster infection that can happen. That's happening in Japan too. Like Hokkaido has like 100 people already, I think. Or something.
What?
Yeah.
In Hokkaido though, not even.
Yes.
Hokkaido.
Okay. So nobody from the cruise ship went to Hokkaido. Okay. Period. Like people don't know where it's coming from. They can't track it. So that means that people who have traveled before the travel bans were out are already back where they came from by now. So no amount of people being stopped at the borders basically have stopped anybody with the virus to enter your country at this point, because they may have done it before the travel ban of end of January. And some places have already lifted the travel ban, like I think the Palestinian area, like they already lifted it, Iran and stuff. So that's another one. I think, like, I don't know why the world meter page is not working. I've been trying to get into it for like 5 minutes and it's just not doing anything for me. I even rebooted my phone. So it's just either it's down or so many people are on it. We can't like check on it. But like Japan is getting like all these people telling them they're not doing it right, because you know how they put people in the cruise ship, like kept them quarantined? It didn't help. It did not help at all. To the point where they had to make a separate like column for people that were on the ship and a different one for Japan. So they have two on the world meter thing. It's like crazy. And so San Antonio has a good amount of the people who came back from China quarantined there. They're not.
So this is Texas' fault. I knew it.
No, California got some too already. They're slowly spreading. Which is why, so there was one article from the CDC saying that you may want to pay attention to your kids' schools, emails and stuff. They may, depending on if there is a breakout or not, they may go to teleschooling, which is, you know, internet, whatever. Same thing with some businesses having to shut down. I don't know how they.
I know our business ain't doing that the way they call us in. They gonna be like, I don't care if you got it or not. You coming nowhere.
So that's what was happening in Japan, right? Because nobody shut down the businesses. So now all of a sudden, every day there's like 100 people, 200 people like being found out. Same thing with South Korea. So South Korea is actually testing everybody, which is why their numbers jumped to over 1,000 in a few days. Like, but here's the thing. If South Korea is the only country that's testing everybody that's coming through, right? And all these countries, including the US, are not testing everybody that came back from China and just using the 14-day incubation period, which doesn't work because it's up to 27 days now, technically.
Holy shit.
Right. Before you get a fucking symptom, it can be anywhere from 2 days to 27 days right now. Officially, they're saying 14, but now they're reporting that there's select cases that has an incubation period of up to 27 days, which you can't tell what the percentage of that is right now either, because you have no outcome, because this is going to be hindsight, obviously.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But everybody out here really acting like it's not going to happen to themselves. There's a whole 10 cities in Italy now. Like, I know people are out here making jokes about Asian people eating like different animals. Also, they just reported that it was not the fucking market. It is the laboratory that was testing on bats. Not, it's human made. It's man made, dude.
Type of shit, not testing on the bats. I told y'all. 28
We told
days
you.
later,
We told you 2 weeks.
literally
weeks
ago.
ago.
Experiment on animals, and then that shit got out, and then everybody was zombies.
Hey, listen, let me talk about how I was telling Rob, this is literally the Walking Dead, because you are walking around with this fucking virus, not knowing that you're infected and infecting other people.
Told you.
Talk
That's
about
how I
this.
got infected.
I mean, D, you probably did and just didn't know
I don't know
it.
if I had the Corona, if I had the Bud Light, if I had the Modelo.
Shut
It was one of them beers
Shut
I
that
hate
I
you
had.
so
So that
much.
shit
I
put
hate
me
you
on
so
my
much.
ass.
You know what else?
I don't know what that was.
Speaking of which, I have yet to find actual proof, so I don't really want to say it out loud, but I'm going to because that's who I am. There was.
I don't have proof, but I'm saying it.
There's no proof, but there's an article out that somebody wrote about this Chinese doctor talking about Black people have a way of curing it.
Get the fuck out of here.
I'm not even kidding.
Oh, do you think it might be that same shit, which is the same reason why we have sickle cell? I heard that has to do with prolonged exposure to malaria over the millennia, just being from Africa. In our bodies, I guess we developed not a tolerance, but a resistance to it. But with that resistance comes, you're more susceptible to have sickle cell virus as a result of this defense from malaria. So if you have that same defense from that, could you possibly have that same defense from coronavirus?
So, like, you know, because I think there was a, like, that, and there was something about HIV cures,
if that's true, we need to assimilate and make our list of demands, because y'all motherfuckers need us to pay.
But you know what?
Get out.
I say we use this to our fucking advantage and be like, oh, you want our genes? Because y'all not gonna, what was her name? Y'all not gonna Henrietta Lacks us. Y'all not gonna take our genes and DNA and help.
Yeah, Henrietta Lacks for real. So here's my thing. After reading that too, I also know about the sickle cell stuff too, and all HIV stuff too. I wonder if that is the reason why, like, they already knew all of this and they've been testing on people in Africa for ages because they're melanated to see the reaction. Yeah, think about that. Yeah, that'll fuck you up, huh? What if they've been
past nobody?
I'm just saying, because I still will not forget when my dad was like, when he had surgery, he knows that he got tested with something, because then he started getting lumps under his skin after the blood transfusion happened.
No.
I remember poking at it when I was little. I was like, Dad, what's this?
Why, CJ?
He was like, I think it's just fat under my skin, but we never knew.
Especially with the government doing shit. You know, the government left gauze in my mom.
I remember you telling me about that shit.
Yeah, they sewed up gauze in my mother. She thought she had a fucking tumor. They opened up and found gauze.
Yep. Crazy.
They forgot. Military.
Yeah.
Government doctors doing that shit.
That's honestly like a nightmare for some people, but that's great. But before we wrap this up, because I don't want my shit to die when we start recording the episode, CJ, give the people that may be like really freaking out about this, because, you know, as much as we could like to research and let people know what we're finding, because we're not experts on anything, we just enjoy reading.
We're not experts.
Some people are really freaking out, and
they are, because I got a personal message about it too. They did. But before we do, real quick, Rob brought me this picture of a baby. A 17-day-old baby girl recovers from coronavirus without medication after being born to a confirmed patient, which means it's targeted to adults, older people, and adults and people with weak immune systems, because baby just fought it off without medication.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is very important. Make sure you stay on top of your gut health.
Yep.
Probiotics and fermented
probiotics
foods are going to help with your overall immunity. 70% of your immunity comes from your gut. Yep. So stay on top of your probiotics. Live probiotics, it's expensive, but it helps. Fermented cabbage juice, fermented, take a shot of that a day. It's gross.
It is, but
it's gonna help you out.
eat
If you
some
do contract
kimchi.
something crazy, kimchi works. Sauerkraut for you Germans. Keep
Not
up
for
with all
you
that.
Germans, Jesus. I don't
Oh
think
my
you can say
God.
it like that.
But okay, so
works.
here's the deal. Like, I'm not gonna tell y'all everything I have in my house, but because I'm a slight prepper, but the the first and foremost thing is to stay calm and logical, because it's just like any other disease. There's no reason to like really panic if you know what you're doing. Yes, kombucha.
Yes, kombucha is great.
I said I ain't have nothing, but when I tell you the first top row of my refrigerator is full of these.
You already on a good start. Like, seriously, the probiotics D was talking about, I take them. Ours is like $40. Yeah, it's a lot, but
Yeah.
It's a lot,
totally
but
worth
I
it.
drink it every day.
It's live culture. We have to keep it in the fridge and everything.
Keep it in the fridge. Yep.
But seriously, like, don't freak out. Like, key is preparation, and not to run out there once the CDC or the WHO are like, okay, go get you 2 months worth of like toilet paper. Already have that ready to go. Like, buy it weekly when you get paid, or bi-weekly when you get paid. Buy one package extra. That's $5 extra on your regular budget that you can do without like tripping, because when everybody goes to the stores because there is an outbreak, you guys are going to be tripping over each other. That's a clusterfuck right there.
Most people that are around our age, I'll say like 30s and 40s, y'all know how crazy people were acting when we thought Y2K was hitting.
Man, say it again.
Or you know what I mean? Or even think of this like a hurricane. People know a hurricane is coming, and most people wait to the last minute to go to Sam's Club or Costco, whatever, and then you get there and all the water's gone, all the shit's gone. You already know. And when something is high up, someone is high up, basically from the CDC, is like, not only did we plan this shit, but y'all might want to get ready. They're literally telling you what's going to happen. Some of y'all schools going to shut down. Some of y'all going to be working from home.
Right.
Just prepare yourselves. There's literally no reason, I think, freak out and
like,
be scared.
keep your cars full of at least half a tank of gas, at least. Like, you know, if you can have like a can of gas in the garage or something too. Also have dried goods, have canned foods that you don't have to like heat up to eat, just in case the power goes out because there's like rain happening or something, you know what I mean? What else? Oh, biggest thing, I was telling my mom this too. If you're female or have teenager girls, don't forget to get girl supplies, pads, tampons, stuff like that. Baby supplies.
Every paycheck I get some, because I'm like, it's like toilet paper and paper towels. You're gonna need it.
You gotta get it.
So I get some every single time.
And they're, you know, and then you guys might be listening like, but the triangle, we as a tribe think y'all are crazy. That's cool. We don't mind. Here's the thing. If you prep and you have a month's worth of extra food, toilet paper, all of that stuff stored up, the worst that can happen is all of this will pass. Nothing crazy will happen. We were all wrong, and you'll have a month of free money.
Come on, CJ.
I'm just saying.
That's worst case scenario. Instead of eating your money or drinking it like most of us do anyway,
you
would have spent it to something that can give a little peace of mind, or say, okay, because most of us are going to entertainment the fuck out of our money. Yeah. And like you said, worst case scenario, you're over prepared.
Yeah, I'd rather just be over prepared. Don't forget about the hand sanitizers, masks if you can get it. But in my like 50-mile radius, all the Home Depots are sold out. So I don't know what to tell you. You can't get them online either. Amazon's gone. You can't order from 3M.
Tell you something I am like staying away from on purpose. Not that I go to places that have big crowds anyway, but because
that was my next thing. Yes.
This is a sports city. I'm like, I'm not going to these Cavs games and these like whatever else. I'm good on huge crowds. I'm real good.
Like, really, if you don't have to travel to places, like, it was really sad. I hated telling my kiddo that she had to cancel like going to see her mom in Florida, but I mean, that was a few weeks ago when we decided, and look at what happened. You know what I mean?
And Florida's a huge hub. We're good.
Yeah, they got an international airport in Florida, so that's where she would have landed too. And I'm not playing with that. There's no 50-50 chance with your kids. You know what I'm saying? So I'd rather be the crazy mom than like the stupid mom who let her go.
Yeah, we'd rather have them hate us now and love us later. We don't care. I'll say no.
They'll understand later. That's cool with me. I'll just be the mean one. I'm okay with that. But for real, also last thing, the biggest thing for me is please don't let sensationalized media fearmonger you into thinking that this is like devastation and panic.
We're all gonna die.
Yeah, now I've already seen fucking comments like that, like on the real, like people are not playing. I've had inboxes from people who are like, what is really going to happen? Like, you just need to calm down and think logically. Like, if you think logically, even when like other like plagues, I guess, happen, people have survived it by being logical and calm. It's the people who panic, go out into crowds when they don't have to, or, you know,
Right.
or not thinking at all and just being like, oh, it's not going to happen to me, is the worst case scenario, really.
And again, for those that have a hard time wrapping your mind around it, every single person living in the US has seen a monster or zombie movie, and those people that freak out be getting killed first. The people that say the big deal, they be getting killed first. It's true.
It's true. Those are your lessons.
And they're just like they're being like assholes to other people, like, move, I'm getting out of here. Dead.
You know who survives the most? The most skeptical survivalists survive last. I just want you to know that I'm a survivor.
They definitely be the ones that be asking questions that like, do you think we should really do that? Or I don't think that's a good idea.
Shit. I'm gonna be putting my family first and my friends first. And I mean, if you want to like DM me and talk to me about it and you want to share some crazy conspiracy theories, I'm down anytime. Get me on my personal
You ain't got
page.
nothing else to do, so
I really do, but that's fine. That's fine. Anyway, on that note, we're gonna wrap up our news angle because that's heavy. We'll keep you posted. I'm actually thinking about going live on our Instagram so we can talk about the coronavirus as it happens, because she's right. In the morning between 1 to 2 p.m. I have nothing to do, so maybe that'll be my thing. I'll just add into it. It might be a thing. We'll talk about shit. Y'all should do it too. You should do entertainment and you should talk about all the crazy
I just cannot believe, because I'm into knowing like entertainment and news,
mm-hmm.
and it's just so interesting to me that there are people out there that are like one or the other.
Yeah, I'm
like, how do you not know both? Because some of this stuff is intertwined.
It is.
Like, how do you...
So like the intertwined stuff I see a lot of or watch, but if it's not intertwined, I'm just like, nah, I don't care about the Kardashians. I'm good. Like, it has to be,
There's more than the Kardashians out.
You know what I mean? That was just an example.
But the fact that entertainment's even been joked about now in that way, that they just, reality TV. It's like, no, some other shit be going on for those that like to pay attention to all that stuff. Like,
now when it's symbolism, I'm all about it. Like,
that's the whole entertainment.
I know. I only watch the major stuff, like clips of like the Grammys and stuff, to see what they did this year for their ritual and shit like that. So
that shit freaks me out.
I know. We're gonna talk about some stuff in the next episode. Where
something I don't even watch anymore? I don't even watch like the VMAs anymore. I couldn't tell you the last time I've seen.
I had to watch it this past year because Missy Elliott, so I had to.
I forgot she did.
Okay, so when it's like that, I'll go back and just find the clip of that person I want to watch.
Yeah, I didn't even watch that. I found the clip of the little girl dancing. I was like, oh, I remember that little white girl. She getting it. That's it.
Bringing her back. But anyway, if you guys enjoy our podcast, please subscribe to your favorite podcast platform. If you're watching us on YouTube, hit that like button, leave us a comment. I know some of y'all have. I'm going to go back in and get some from last week, so don't worry. I'll always respond, or one of us will respond, always. Also, if you feel like it, give us a subscription. We'll get better mics and cameras. I don't know what these niggas is doing. They dabbing, I think.
A dab a day keeps coronavirus away.
Oh my God. Not a dab a day will keep the coronavirus away. What?
I was laying down like,
I hate y'all. Oh my God. Anyway, on that note, stay blessed, be safe, be logical, be calm, don't get scared. We love you. Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.
Get electric blankets.